I truly believe that systems can be the gateway to unforgettable, unimaginable, amazing experiences. That is why I build systems. That's why I challenge you to build better systems. It's not just to get more time back on your calendar. It's not just this, oh, we can be more productive as a team. Systems, automations, workflows can really be a way to build better relationships with yourself, your own work environment, your team, your clients, your community, your audience. The way that you show up is the way that people remember you. It's the reputation that you build. And my number one goal this year is to frankly be better at that. And I think I've come up with what I think is the best solution for me in order to achieve this desire for better experiences, this desire to know more about the people in my ecosystem. Because what's the point of adding someone to your CRM or collecting their business card on Hi Hello if you're not going to do anything with it? So what better way to continually build relationships, to continue to keep conversations going, and honestly, in a selfish way, be really fun in someone's inbox, kind of catch them off guard, then send strategic automated emails that give a fun fact, that open the door a little bit more to knowing who I am and connecting on more human ways than by building an automation every other month that basically sends them an email and says, hey, on this day in history, this happened, or Happy National Pizza Day. Did you know this? So that is what we are going to build in this video. I'm going to use Stepper to do it. But like I mentioned in my last video, one of the really cool things about Stepper is that with Stepper AI, you don't have to have all the answers before you start building. That is probably one of my favorite features that they have, is that I can actually go into the AI and say, hey, I have this idea. How do we execute it? And, I think this workflow is going to utilize loops and be able to basically every year send this email to someone in my CRM. What I want to do is I want to pop over to Stepper and we are going to start ideating on this workflow, because to be totally honest, I have this big vision, but I have no idea where I should start or how I should start. So let's pop over to my computer and build this workflow. Okay, so to get started, let's just dump our ask into Stepper. So love this idea. Set up a scheduled trigger. So check daily or weekly for upcoming holidays. Query your Notion CRM. Check current date against holiday event calendar. Match contacts to relevant holidays. Use AI to personalize each email, which we already have the emails written. I did those in Claude. How do you want to decide which contacts get emails? All contacts should get emails. I think that's fair, right? Unless status is not active client. I think that is the tag I have. Active project. So I think if they are not an active project, they should get these emails, because that might be super weird for a client to be like, why are you emailing me about this? Because the idea is that we want to continue the relationships after the invoice is paid, as they are, just people in our network, not necessarily people that I'm actively working with and talking to every day. I think that would be confusing. Okay, so we'll do that. And then, again, going back to the dates. So how do we want to define the dates? Okay, so this says option A, single scheduled check. One daily scheduled trigger that checks today's date, looks up which holiday matches. Yes, that is what I want. I think option A is the best. Or it says multiple scheduled triggers. Actually, option B might be the best, because I wonder if it can do everything in this workflow, to have one workflow with multiple paths. So it's kind of almost like the trigger is today, so it checks once a day, then it sends it basically checks against all of the dates for these paths. I think that works. Okay, so we need to paste each email in. And okay, so email 1 is for February 9th. Okay, and we are going to do National Pizza Day. Okay, maybe I just give it create placeholders for now for the rest of the 7 emails, and I will override with the content after. I don't want this holding me back. Okay, so now it's asking CRM structure. What are the exact property names for Notion POC email? It should, I don't know why it's asking me this. It should be able to pull up status. Okay, perfect. So let's just send this. All right, so it's going to start doing that. I'm curious how this is going to do this. Okay, so it's just going to use placeholder dates. That's fine. Great. Now I need to look up your Notion CRM, get the exact database ID. Yes, you do. Yeah, I actually need to pull the dates for those. Yes, sample data. Okay, so it looks like it's using the schedule as the trigger. Okay, and so now we're using what's called loops on Stepper. So basically what this means is that it's always going to run. So basically once people get to the end of the workflow, they're going to re-enter at the beginning. So we want to allow that. So this is kind of an advanced step, so to speak, but it allows people to constantly be staying in here and it always run no matter what until it's done. And so that's actually really good too, like thinking about this, that we are filtering out people who are active projects currently. The second that that status changes outside of active project, then we want to, they'll be able to come into this workflow. Basically, they will come out of that filtered out. But let's add the email for now. Okay, so February 9th is complete. Let me build out the remaining 6 placeholder holiday email triggers. I'll create placeholders for now that you can update with real content later. Great. Because we'll also need to update the dates as well. So I'm doing National Pizza Day. I'm doing a historical day, which is the first World's Fair in the US. I'm doing National Coffee Day. I'm doing National Cookie Day for the holidays, which is in December. And then I'm also doing a day for a historical day based on kind of like when team retreats and things kind of kicked off in the US. So it should be fun. While it's doing that, let's talk why multi-triggers can be really fun and also why automations don't always have to be about your workflows. You can use automations to not just do tasks, but to truly like have fun with it, like we're doing here. So we are using Stepper's multi-trigger feature, which means you can have multiple things running inside one single workflow at one time without having to have tons and tons of workflows over and over and over again. I know, when I was in Zapier mostly, I would kind of have to do this. And so then I would also have to remember to label the automation correctly and know which one was which. And then you had all these automations running all over the place. And so with the multi-trigger feature in Stepper, I can literally have one workflow interface and it all lives in one single place. And of course here, one of the true benefits is I am able to continue building relationships. I'm able to keep conversations going, ignite new conversations with literally having no uptick here. Like there is literally no work on my end except making a point to obviously reply when someone replies to this email, which I really hope that this is like a fun time that people get in their inbox. You know, they're going to get this email that's like, Happy National Pizza Day. And they're going to be like, what the heck? And then they're going to realize, oh, it's from Sarah. And I forgot that, you know, she has this community where they meet at a different pizza shop every single month and do a takeover. And like, Sarah's a pizza girl. So how fun is that? So I think that this is going to be a fun time, guys. I'm excited for this. And obviously, once this is done, I'm going to go through and edit the emails, and I will show you how to manually edit here in a second. Now that it's got all of the templates, what we can do is go through each of these workflows and edit it. So National Pizza Day, we're going to do February 9th, and that's actually coming up. So this is good as like a first year thing. So February 9th, 9 a.m. I think that's okay. I think that's great. We're going to continue that, save the changes. And our emails, that's what, the pizza one we did. We need to do the rest of them. So we're going to allow that as it's going. It's looping the contact and it's coming from us. It's National Pizza Day. Okay, great. So the other really cool thing is as we're going through this, we can rename these. So let's go ahead, and the next date that we're going to do is World Creativity Day on April 21st. So we'll do 4/21 because remember, we want to remember what workflows are what as we are going through this. Okay, so our workflow is finally done. And the great thing about this is now all year, I'm reconnecting with people from my CRM, people I've met networking, past clients, prospective clients that maybe just the budget wasn't there, but we want to stay on each other's radar. That allows me to continually connect with people. And I think all I need to do now is set a G calendar reminder. Maybe we'll say for middle of December to basically go in here and either keep the same holidays every year and maybe tweak the emails a little bit or come up with all new holidays. I think that could be really fun too, just to kind of switch it up because, you know, the majority of people in your CRM are there forever and people might catch on, but also they may not. So, you know, I think something like this you could keep in rotation every 2 years, change it, every year change it, whatever you want to do. And also I think this goes to your CRM in general, is making a point every year to do a little cleanup, decide who stays, who goes, you know, and there's some other things you could also do in here to make things a little more personable, you know, link your LinkedIn or link your YouTube channel and allow people to connect with you on the platform of their choice if they don't necessarily want to just remember to connect with you over email as well. So great example of using Stepper's multi-triggers, great example of building a workflow that yes is work, but has nothing to do with our processes, has more to do with the human side of things. And overall, this checks a massive box for me for making a point to reach out to people, regardless of how busy I am throughout the year and on like random times of the year too. So very excited. So if this is something you're interested in, feel free to steal this workflow for yourself, tweak it, make it your own. And that's it for today's video. If you haven't already done so, smash that subscribe button. And also, we have a really cool Discord community for Stepper. So if you are new to the platform, you want to show off what you're building, you have questions, feature requests, it's a great way to do that. So you can click on this QR code right here. And also check out this playlist as well, because it has all of the content that we are making about Stepper to help you on your automation journey.